What if an actor gave the performance of a lifetime and never lived to see it? In Hollywood, there are some roles that define a career, but in rare, tragic cases, those roles become a legacy instead of a triumph. Today on ActorFlash, we're remembering the stars who died before their final film was released. Some were legends, some were rising, but none of them got to see the curtain fall. Their last moments on screen are now immortal because they never saw them. Number 1. Heath Ledger. Age 28. Heath Ledger wasn't just acting when he became the Joker, he transformed. His haunting portrayal in The Dark Knight stunned those who saw early cuts of the film. But in January 2008, before the movie hit theaters, Heath was found dead in his New York apartment from an accidental overdose of prescription medications. The world was in shock. He had just finished filming, and the buzz around his performance was deafening. When The Dark Knight finally released months later, audiences were left speechless and heartbroken. He posthumously won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He gave everything to that role, said co-star Christian Bale, and we lost him to it. Heath's Joker may have been unforgettable, but our next actor gave one last voice performance in a film that was still unfinished when he left us. Number 2. Robin Williams. Age 63. Robin Williams was more than just a comedian. He was a force of joy. In 2014, just before his death, he voiced Dennis the dog in the British sci-fi comedy Absolutely Anything. He died by suicide in August 2014, just as the movie was in post-production. It was released the following year with his voice intact. What many fans didn't know was that Robin had also filmed scenes for other projects that were never completed, including a third Mrs. Doubtfire film. His final works feel like echoes of a man who made the world laugh while suffering silently. He brought laughter to millions, one fan wrote, and left us with a silence we'll never forget. While Robin gave us comedy, our next legend gave us wisdom, and left us just weeks before the cameras stopped rolling. Number 3. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Age 46. Philip Seymour Hoffman was a master of his craft. In the Hunger Games franchise, he played Plutarch Heavensbee with a quiet power that grounded the rebellion. But in February 2014, with just a week left of shooting for Mockingjay Part 2, Hoffman was found dead in his Manhattan apartment from a drug overdose. Producers used CGI and script rewrites to finish the film without him. When fans saw him on screen, it was a reminder of what we lost, a once-in-a-generation talent gone too soon. He didn't just play characters, said one director. He became them. Next is a star who didn't just act. He directed, wrote, and lived for cinema, until cancer ended his journey mid-project. Number 4. Chadwick Boseman. Age 43. Chadwick Boseman was more than just Black Panther. He was a symbol of strength, grace, and silent suffering. In 2020, he completed filming for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, while secretly battling stage 4 colon cancer. He never told the public. He died in August 2020, just months before the film's release. The movie earned him a posthumous Oscar nomination, and fans watched in tears, knowing every scene was filmed in pain. He was a warrior off-screen, said Viola Davis, and a king in every sense. Chadwick chose silence in his fight. But our next actor's final film told the story of silence, and his voice still echoes today. Number 5. James Dean. Age 24. James Dean had only filmed 3 major movies, but that was all it took to make him a legend. He had just finished filming Giant when he was killed in a car crash in September 1955. The film was released posthumously, with his performance earning him a second Academy Award nomination after death. To this day, Giant stands as a monument to what could have been. His swagger, his raw emotion, and his quiet power live forever in black and white. He burned bright and fast, one critic said, and never had the chance to fade. From legends of the 50s to the heartbreak of the 2000s, the next young actor never saw the fame his final role was about to bring. Number 6. Anton Yelchin. Age 27. Anton Yelchin had just finished filming Thoroughbred, a psychological thriller, when tragedy struck in June 2016. His own Jeep rolled down his driveway and crushed him against a brick pillar. He died instantly. The film was released more than a year later, and his performance, as always, was captivating. Fans knew him best as Chekhov in Star Trek, but Thoroughbred showed a darker, deeper side of his talent. He was just getting started, co-star Anya Taylor-Joy said, and he would have been one of the greats. The next actor was a familiar face to families, but in his last appearance, he left the world heartbroken. Number 7. Paul Walker. Age 40. Paul Walker wasn't just Brian O'Connor. He was the soul of the Fast and Furious franchise. But in 2013, while the film was still in production, Paul died in a high-speed car crash during a charity event. Filming was paused. The cast mourned. His brothers stepped in as body doubles to complete the film. When Furious 7 was finally released, it ended with the now iconic "See You Again" montage, a tribute that brought fans to tears. If there was ever a perfect goodbye, one reviewer said, this was it. But not every goodbye comes with music. Some are quiet, hidden, like the one our next actor left behind. Number 8. Bruce Lee, age 32. Bruce Lee had filmed scenes for Game of Death before leaving to shoot Enter the Dragon, his global breakout. But before either film was released, he died suddenly in 1973 from a cerebral edema. Game of Death was eventually completed using stand-ins, body doubles, and early CGI. It was controversial, but fans still lined up to see Bruce one last time. He became more than a man, said one martial arts fan. He became a myth. Our next actress didn't live to see her most personal role released, a project she believed would change her career forever. Number 9. Brittany Murphy, age 32. Brittany Murphy died suddenly in 2009, officially from pneumonia and anemia, but the circumstances were mysterious. She had just wrapped filming Something Wicked, a psychological thriller meant to reboot her image from quirky roles to serious drama. The film was shelved after her death, and only released years later, quietly, in limited theaters. Her fans remember her smile, her voice, and the spark she brought to every screen. Something Wicked was the last flame before darkness. She was more than Clueless or Uptown Girls, said her director. She was brilliant, and she was gone. Finally, we remember a young actress whose final performance was meant to be her big break, but turned into her final memory. Number 10. River Phoenix, age 23. River Phoenix was one of the most promising actors of his generation. With roles in Stand By Me and My Own Private Idaho, he was already being called the next James Dean. In 1993 he was filming Dark Blood, but just weeks before it was completed, he collapsed and died outside the Viper Room from a drug overdose. The film sat unfinished for nearly 20 years. It was eventually completed with narration replacing missing scenes and released in 2012. Even incomplete, River's performance was magnetic. He didn't just act, said his brother Joaquin Phoenix. He felt every moment. These actors never saw the lights dim, the audience applaud, or the credits roll. But their last performances live on, in film, in memory, and in us. Which one touched your heart the most? Which final role did you watch differently, knowing the truth? Tell us in the comments below. Subscribe to ActorFlash for more powerful Hollywood stories, celebrity legacies, and unforgettable moments. Tap the bell so you never miss the final acts of the stars we loved. Because here on ActorFlash, we remember not just how they lived, but how they left the screen.